Hi, welcome back. If you don't know me, my name's Newman, and today we're going to check out how the cacti are doing. They're just behind me right there. We're going to see how they're doing in winter. Anyway, stay tuned. Trichoceros huashas in full winter mode. This one's put out a lot of new stems. Even though it's winter time, it still tries to grow, even though it gets really cold at night. Gymnocalycium name won't come to me right now. I'm good at that. Full winter sleep. It shriveled a little bit, it's lost some size, but it's doing really well. This is a mammillaria here. Mammillaria medusa or something like that. It gets quite long, up to about a meter. A lot of growers grow them in pots cascading down like a big snake. It's doing fine in the winter. This is Notocactus autunus. And this one gets pretty red in the winter. It's lost some size, but super healthy, very red. That one does fine in the cold. Coryantha elephantidens. I bought this as a large plant, and it's been doing really well in the winter, no problems at all. Hasn't even changed color much, which means it can put up with a lot. This down here is Oroya peruviana, which I bought last year. Gives you an idea how big it is if I put my fingers there. As you know, Oroyas are fine in the cold. These are Echinopsis subdenudatus, doing good. Everyone knows Echinopsis. I hybridize them as a hobby. Hematocactus setaspinus. It's quite a large pot here, but they're pretty decent growers once they get going in the summer. Puts up with quite a bit of humidity in the summer too. It's very humid, up into the 90s, and I've not had any trouble with them at all. Anyway, that's the first table. We're going to move over to the biggie. Stay tuned for that. Alright, here we go. I've taken back the frost cloth here. Lets in all the air and cold and all of that, just not frost. I must say it's quite exciting going behind here. I haven't been behind here for a while, for a few weeks now. This is another Hematocactus setaspinus. I've had this one for a few years. It even has an offset down there, right there. So it's starting to offset. It's a prolific flowering cactus with beautiful lemon-scented yellow flowers with the center of the flowers red. And next to it is a Neoporteria nigulans or something like that. This one's absolutely fine, doing a good job in the winter. Up here you have Gymnocalycium saglionis, or one of my ones, doing well in the winter. You can see there the shrivelling. The epidermis is caved in a little bit. Cacti spinus. There's vicious fish hooks right there. See that? I had one of those hooked in my nose when I was watering my plants. I brought my nose down to sniff a flower and I got hooked inside my nose and broke off. It's quite painful. This is Mammillaria Humboldtii variety cespitosa, which is going to need a repot because it's clumping so much. Mammillaria magnumama, which I got from a nursery that's just down the road. It's a bonsai nursery, but they have a greenhouse. And it's a winter flower. As you can see here, these flowers are starting to open. Now this is a very hardy Mammillaria, very tough, easy to grow. This is Mammillaria vetula subspecies gracilis that has purplish flowers, and it's a beauty. There's a big surprise on my Sclerocactus unicactus. It's got buds. Look at that. Now I thought I would lose this. This is like a trial growing this one. All I can say is don't push it. Just give it a water when it's dry. Just don't overwater it, that's all. And so far so good. I didn't expect to be able to grow this cactus, especially here with these humid summers. But there you have it. Still early days though. There's another Gymnocalycium saglionis. There's a nice olive green body. And this one is Tephra articulatus inermis. What a mouthful. And I got this as a cutting, which is that piece, and it is made an offset during last summer. Up here, Ispostoa. Very cold hardy. Moving along, that is, as you know, Phelocactus magdalii, and behind it, I can't get to it. You're going to have to look at photos or past videos, but it's got two offsets. They're still very, very small at the moment. Moving along, Gymnocalycium saglionis there. It's been doing really well. And this one is another Hematocanthus or Ferrocactus hematocanthus that is a different, it's another variety. It's definitely different to my other one, but I've had it for years. Overwinters very well. We'll have to get to those ones from the other side. But down here, you have a Libivia arachnocantha that I've had for many years. I bought this as a small plant on my go-to net sales, like flea market sale store online. It's been doing really well. It has beautiful yellow flowers. Next to it is the Mammillaria once again, Mystax. It's been doing much better now without having the polythene around here covering it for the winter. The temperatures just fluctuate too much. It gets excessively hot even if I open it up and let the air in. And what it did is it started oozing sticky liquid out of its body. It's not doing it this year. It's much happier. That I keep forgetting to label. It's a Libivia too. There's beautiful pink flowers, prolific flowering, flowers many times, and as you can see there, it's offset quite a lot. And I bought this one at the Daisos store, and it was no more than the size of one of these offsets. It was just a baby thing. So in 2 years it's grown into that. This is a mammillaria, and it could be albinolata. I could be wrong. It's a winter flowering. Bought that at a nursery last summer. Echinophossula cactus that overwinters really well. This here is my very old mammillaria herbella. It's growing really well. Very hardy, even in the summertime. Even the high humidity, it doesn't mind one bit, as long as it's not getting rained on. Doesn't mind high humidity in the summer, but definitely in the winter, when it gets this cold, it needs the low humidity, which we get here in Japan. This is Cactus latispinus. This typically shrivels a lot during the colder seasons because it's from a much warmer region of Mexico, but it gets through the winter. It'll get all plump and take on water from the springtime. These are a big bunch of Mammillaria prolifera that have red flowers. What's interesting about these is how much they fruit. So they have lots and lots of small juicy red fruits that pop up on it. This is Mammillaria glassii, and I thought it was dead, and it was just, it's very hard to tell whether it needs water or not, but I gave it a couple of good waterings and it plumped up last summer, which told me it's still alive, which is good. There's lovely white flowers with a kind of a silvery tint to them. This is Puna boniae on its own roots. It has produced 3 new offsets. It's growing. I give it a water every now and then. And next to it, there's a mammillaria here that I haven't labeled yet, because as soon as I'm finished this video, I will forget again. Actually, something else about Puna boniae is its magnificent, beautiful flowers it has. You got to check out some photos on the internet to get an idea of the flowers. The flowers actually outsize the plant. Epithlantha micromeris, which produced a lot of fruits, and I tried to germinate the seed. It hasn't germinated, as I can see, but I'm still got them in a pot, and they could germinate at any time, but it does produce a lot of fruits. This is Areocarpus kochbianus, overwintering. Very, very hardy to dry environments. Even without water, it doesn't flinch one bit, doesn't lose any size really. In actual fact, it keeps growing. So the bare minimum of water, and this thing can keep growing because of its the way that it's adapted to its environment. It's able to utilize even the bare minimum of water and grow. Next to it is a pretty severely shriveled and I gotta give it a squeeze, and it's quite soft. Although very shriveled, it's still healthy and fine. Sulcorbutia rauschii. And you can see there it's got 2 offsets. Yep, I love these. Cactus articulatus. This is the prickly one, the one that you don't want to touch because of all those glockids. And when I bought it, it came in 2 of its pup branches had broken off, which I don't mind. I'm fine with that. I just potted them up, one here and one there. And a very free draining mix, and they've probably got roots, I would say, but they should have roots. Mammillaria marxiana, which flowers in the springtime. Beautiful yellow flowers. This is Libivia here that has striking bright purple flowers. This is Mammillaria Kowinskiana or Najapensis, and it is still flowering. This thing flowers a lot, and it splits dichotomously. That's just a technical word for a stem that splits in 2 to make 2 branches. So you might think it's deformed, but that's no deformity. That's just how it produces another branch or another head by dividing itself. So I've had this plant for 3 or 4 years. It's been doing really well for me. And it has these pale greenish flowers or stripes, which is a typical Mammillaria trait. Alright, this little seedling here is a seedling of a Phaerocactus hematocanthus. Anyway, it's the first 2 shelves. I'm going to get to the next one, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the next shelf. I bent down, I didn't want you to hear that. This is a mixed pot. We have a Gymnocalycium horstii, we have 2 Gymnocalycium mahanovichis and a Thelocactus bicolor and a Mammillaria harniana. Next to that is the Libivia that has a beautiful purple flowers. 2 mahanovichis, Gymnocalyciums. They just keep on trying to flower, even though it's midwinter. Next to it is Gymnocalycium. Why don't I put a label on it? But you know, it's good for your memory to try to use it every now and then, right? Baldianum. There's a Baldianum, and there's one there too. Yep. They definitely don't need any water in the winter. Very rot prone. This is one of the cold hardiest gymnos you could ever have, and it's Baruchii. It's got a weird knobbly bit on the end of there. I don't know what that is. Could be an offset. Nice and shriveled over the winter. This one surprised me. Wigginsia erinacea. Didn't expect it to be this cold hardy. Hasn't even gotten red or anything. Very, very tough. Next to that, you got a coriantha of some sort. This is my graft. I grafted a seed-growing Trichoceros huasha hybrid, and I got to pluck those 3 offsets because you know that robs growth from my blah blah blah. And over here, this is a big part of Gymnocalycium anisatii, which I've got to divide and repot because it's starting to fill up that pot. And they've been, by the way, they've been in there for about 2 or 3 years. Notocactus horstii, which has orange flowers. And I got another one up there that has purpurea, has purple flowers. My 2-seed growing Mammillaria mystax. This is a okay. What are you? Vincia of some sort that has a lot of yellow flowers that bloom on the around, kind of like a Mammillaria, but this is from South America. I have to put the name on the screen. But this is very cold hardy. My only 2 squishy soft Lophophorus. They get all nice and squishy and soft over the winter. Although this one hasn't pulled itself back into the soil. It's still nice and plump, but very soft. Lophophora it's not Williamsii, it's another one. Got a little spider mite damage there. This is my little Notocactus.
Oh my gosh!
Can't remember its name. It's not Otonus, it's Eubelmanianus. Does that ring any bells? Or am I just making mistakes? There's a beautiful variegated Gymnocalycium mahonovici. Beautiful red tint to it. And next to that is Copiopoa hypogaea. I'm going to give that a squeeze. It's still solid, even though it hasn't had water for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's offsetting a lot. Very easy to grow, very, very easy. Rebutia. Oh, hit my head. Ouch. This is Rebutia that has red flowers. I don't know its last name. And you can see it's got scarring, and that's our favorite pest that we all love to hate, and those are spider mites. Spider mites did that in the summer. All I can say is when you start getting spider mites, don't put it close to a wall or anywhere that's protected. Keep that air flowing around it. Otherwise I have to spray it with alcohol to kill them. This is pretty spongy too, because it's overwintering. Gymnocalycium monvelii, or monvelii. This one has one of the most beautiful big blooms. Quite unusual for a Gymnocalycium. This one's overwintering really well. Can get grow to a quite considerable size too. This is my Notocactus horstii variety purpureus offset that I've been growing for a number of years. Next to that is Acanthocalycium spiniflorum variety violacea, which possibly has my favorite, one of my favorite cacti flowers. Magnificent. Pastel pink flowers. They're amazing. The only thing is that I just don't get it to flower prolifically. It kind of buds up and one flower open and then the next. I can't get it to flower all the flowers to open at the same time. Did get a bit of damage there. You can see the white tissue that's burning because the sun changes position in the sky during the summer to the winter, and I moved the plant like an idiot too soon while it was still hot, you see, and it got burned, but it'll recover from it. It's no problem. Okay, so that's all the shelves on this side. We're going to go to the other side, so stay tuned for that. Okay, here we are on the other side. Alright. Noto cactus, Lenning Halsey. I've shown this many times. But I just want to show you that, yeah, they can put up with the cold as long as you have them away from the frost and try to keep the humidity down. They can go through the cold easily. I've had this out here and it's gotten down to -8 degrees. Next to it, Noto Cactus Magnifica. You know what, when this thing gets bigger and bigger, I don't know where to put it. I don't know. It's going to be a problem. Here we have Noto Cactus Varalcii, which is overwintering really well. I haven't given them water for I think about 3 weeks now. The last watering was, because they're in full winter mode right now, or rest. This is one of my oldest, and you can see buds coming up because this is what this cactus does. Produces buds even in winter. And this is a Noto Cactus Horstii variety Purpureus. It's got another offset down there. I kind of over potted this one, so it'll have to stay in this pot for many more years. In the summertime it tends to straighten up as it plumps. This is Metacana Aurantiaca. Did I get that right? It's got buds popping up all over it. It's not formed very well, as I've said before, because I bought it like this, and it's supposed to be a very globular, flattened globular shape, but it'll get its shape back as it grows. I've had this for over a year now. This is its second winter. It's got buds everywhere. Beautiful golden yellow flowers. This one is Noto Cactus claviceps, which overwinters out here no problem. They're very tough. It's a Mammillaria thimble cactus, which I love. I like breaking them off and growing more and more and more, and I love to grow them in bigger pots, which is what I've done here with this Noto cactus. That there is Parodia mammillaria, and it is shriveled right up. Could do with the watering in the next few weeks. This is a Noto cactus I don't say the names all the time, so no wonder I can't remember. This is quite mountainous growing one from Brazil, so it grows quite high altitude. Yeah. And down the bottom, pleasant surprise from Mammillaria albilinata. So it's flowering all the way around, just like a cake. I bought this many years ago from a exotic store here in Japan that sells a lot of crystals and those kind of exotic ornaments from around the world. And they, as I said, they have crystals and rare stones and gems that they sell too, and also they sell exotic plants, which are cacti, succulents, and orchids, and philodendrons, and you name it, they have it. So I love that store. This got repotted last year, so it's doing really well. The mammillaria that has no name. I thought it was Gigantea. It's definitely not. I had another label on it, but it doesn't look like that cactus at all. Could be Haideri too. Is that what you call it? Not sure, but it has beautiful flowers, and they're quite large actually. These flowers are pretty large for a mammillaria. The ferrocactus, I love to forget its name. Cylindracis. Cylindracis, is that right? I bought that from a store that's and I've got that on one of my videos. Cactus store. It's right on the roof of a building in Japan. We're going to run out of power soon. These are just the elongatas. That one's a Thalocactus bicolor, beautiful. Ferrocactus emorii, which is probably one of the hardiest ferrocactus. Down there is one that I got a label, Mammillaria Periciderose. Probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm really murdering that name there. I gotta write it in English because it's in Japanese there. Periciderose. Yeah. Anyway, that is the update on all the cacti. And that one is just a monstrous Cylindra puntia that I've had for many years. Yep. And that is the winter update so far, part 3. All the cacti are doing really well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. And don't forget that looking after your plants is not a chore, it's part of your self-care. And until next time, see you. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.